Welcome to Lesson 3 in Unit 9, How Seeds Travel. In this lesson, students will work to answer the question, what plants and animals live in our schoolyard? In this lesson, students explore the plant and animal life in the various habitats of the schoolyard. Students figure out that there are many different kinds of living things in one habitat. There are habitats in water and on land. Students make connections to the storyline by thinking about how the animals in the school habitat could be responsible for the mystery of the moving cucumber seed. There is an opportunity for ELA cross-curricular connections throughout the lesson. You can look for specific standard connections in the Unit 9 Teacher Guide. This lesson will take approximately 5 days to complete. To begin the Lesson 3 Engage, you'll show students the images of the cucumbers growing in the radishes outside the school away from the cucumber garden. And remind them that they are still trying to figure out the mystery of the traveling cucumber plant. You'll ask some questions about what they've figured out so far and what happened when they grew their own plants. You'll also ask, what are some differences in our classroom versus the schoolyard that might account for the traveling cucumber plant, and why you didn't have that happen in your classroom. You'll have students complete the schoolyard drawing student journal page predicting what they think lives in their schoolyard based on what they have previously observed. Once students finish their drawings, you'll have some students share. You'll then revisit the driving question board and add any new questions and highlight others connected to the learning goals of this lesson by calling attention to questions about what plants and animals live in the schoolyard. For the Explore, you'll ask students how they can find out what living things are in the schoolyard and tell them that they are going out to observe. You'll divide the class into 2 groups and lead them outside to an area around the school and have one group observe and record by drawing, writing, or tallying what they see on the Schoolyard Data Location 1 Student Journal page. You'll then lead the class to another area and have the other group observe and collect data on the Schoolyard Data Location 2 Student Journal page. You'll then bring the students inside and have them work with a partner from the other group to discuss the data collected. If it is not possible to take the students outdoors, you could have them view one of the habitat posters in groups. For the Explain portion, you'll invite students to gather to share their findings from the schoolyard investigation. You'll use the provided questions to guide your discussion around the question, what plants and animals live in the schoolyard? The goal of this class discussion is to analyze and interpret data to help students explain what living things make their homes in the smaller habitats in the schoolyard. You'll use the discussion to create the Lesson 3 summary chart. By the end of the discussion, students should understand that they can see if any of the animals moved the seeds or plants in the schoolyard. During the discussion, you'll show students the Habitats video and post the Habitat vocabulary card. For the Elaborate portion, you'll tell students that they are going to look at posters that represent different habitats you might find around the world to help them think about what plants and animals live in these places. You'll divide the class into 8 groups and send one group to each poster. You'll have students use the Habitat Observation Student Journal page to record observations about the living things they find on their poster. Students will switch posters after they have finished recording observations until they have seen all of the posters. After students work in their small groups, you'll use the provided questions to support a whole class discussion. For the Evaluate portion, you'll have students complete the Habitats Quick Check Student Journal page. To support student sense-making across the unit, you'll orient them back to the driving question board. You'll ask students, what did we learn about what plants and animals live in our schoolyard habitat? And what new questions do you have? By the end of this lesson, students will have made observations and collected data about the living things and habitats within the schoolyard as well as other locations. In Lesson 4, students will continue to think about the mystery as they explore ways that seeds travel. For the optional Extend, you can go back outside to the same locations you used in the Explore and take samples of different types of leaves. You can bring the leaves back to the classroom and have the students work in groups to make observations of the leaves they found. Students can describe and classify the leaves, then discuss why they might find the same types of trees in the same habitat. For more information about this unit, visit myscipartners.com.